Hello, gorgeous hearts. Today I want to talk about disconnection and loneliness. Especially for women, this is such a big thing. It's a big thing for men as well, but I work with women and I see this in my tribe of lovely, heart centered, gentle, empathic women. Our desire and our need to really deeply connect with others. And this is not about connecting with a whole bunch of people or connecting in big groups, that can often make us feel even more lonely, feeling lonely in a crowded room. So, I want to talk about why this can manifest and also what we can do about this. So, I remember one day I was standing in my kitchen and I just felt this overwhelming sense of sadness and grief. And it was like this longing, this homesickness, this real nostalgic feeling for unconditional love. And even though I had so much love in my life, beautiful husband, family, friends, soul friends, I had this really deep desire to feel really connected. And I know that this is a grief that often people who are really sensitive carry within their DNA, which is like a real homesickness and a longing to be in that space of unconditional love, which we know and which we will all return to. But it also is something that we can manifest and bring into this world. And the biggest thing for me was actually not about going and joining another club or, going and being busy and just being around people. It's actually the biggest thing for me was reconnecting with myself, loving, accepting, and becoming aware of the parts of myself that I had abandoned and rejected, shamed, and kind of betrayed within myself, really loving those parts and becoming my own best friend. Now, I know that sounds kind of cheesy. It sounds like, oh, let's all just love ourselves and everything will be grand. But actually acknowledging and accepting this deep desire within our hearts to be with people where we can share vulnerably, people who really have our back, who care for us really deeply, who really love us for who we are, is actually such a soul desire. And it's really, really common amongst women. We are tribal beings. Like I've said, we used to be in tribes all the time. We used to cook together and we used to go to the toilet together because we had to do that for safety. We lived together. We were in the red tent together when we menstruated. We birthed together. We held each other's babies. Now it's very different. We often, we can sit at home, watch Netflix, order Uber Eats, and not ever kind of go out and socialize. We can work from home. And so it's really interesting what's happening to us collectively and why so many people are feeling this sense of disconnection. And yes, a part of that is the fact that we're not all bundled in together. But I also believe that it's not about just racing out without doing the inner work and actually just trying to kind of fill the cup when it's empty. It's actually about giving ourselves that beautiful balm that we crave from other people, then going out and then receiving it from a full cup. So what do I mean by that? So first thing is to acknowledge it. Acknowledge the feeling, the desire, and acknowledge any sadness or grief that you're carrying around not having those connections or feeling disconnected. Just acknowledge that. And this can feel really cringy. We can feel like we're 5 years old on our first day of school again, or it can bring up times where we haven't felt accepted, but we haven't felt loved, especially if we're really sensitive hearts. Any sense of rejection or shaming of our true nature and of our sensitivity can make us really retract from the world and feel we can start to betray ourselves by not actually showing that part of ourselves. And I've seen that with, a beautiful woman within this heart-centered tribe, is that sometimes it's just been too painful. So they've pulled back and they've said, I don't need anyone anymore. I'm safe for just being by myself. I'll just stay at home and, I won't even try anymore because they've been so disappointed. They've been let down. They may have been betrayed. So I really want to tend to this part of your heart with a lot of compassion and gentleness and really acknowledge, and this is what I do with my gorgeous tribe, is really hold them in love while we hear these parts of themselves that they're often judging and, this deep desire within them. And, this is something that I've definitely been through myself, and so I can really speak from a place of authentic experience, but also having embodied this deep and rich inner self-love. And as I say, the steps that I kind of did, which is hard to, just tell these steps because it's different for everybody, but the biggest thing is to ask yourself, what is it that I am wanting from an experience with another? What is it that I want to receive more fully? And it's always that we want to receive ourselves more fully. We want someone to say, how are you? And to actually wait and listen and hear us. We want someone to be deeply interested in us, in our lives. We want someone to praise us and celebrate us. We want someone to be there when we stumble and we fall. And often, if we're empaths, if we're people on the self-growth journey, we often hold the space for other people in our community, in our families, our friends, and we often are the ones that give this to other people. And remembering that what we give to others is always what we so deeply want to receive. So asking yourself, what is it that I most want to receive from others, and then giving it to yourself. So, if it's that you want someone to really deeply support you, hand on heart and saying your name, Jilly, I deeply, deeply support you. I am your best friend. I will never, ever let you down. I am always here for you. I support you. I cheer for you. I love you. You are a great person. I approve of you. All those things that we've been wanting to hear from another, if we give them to ourselves on a regular basis, not just a one-off snap thing, but if we actually apply that to our inner wounding every time that we feel that sense of rejection or that deep desire, that grief, then we actually begin to see our relationships, our friendships start to transform. And when we go into the world, we're already full with our own self-love to overflowing. So we can actually be with other people without requiring anything from them. And then we begin to actually receive. So this is a beautiful dynamic and a beautiful multi-dimensional universe that we live in. And, everything outside of us is always emanating from what we're carrying inside, what we're saying inside. So if we say to ourselves often, no one's there for me, no one supports me, no one gets me, I'm all alone, I haven't got anyone who understands me, I'm there for everyone else, but nobody's there for me. That's what the world will bring us if we compassionately attend to ourselves. You can tap on that clavicle point. I love my tapping. You tap on that clavicle point and just allow ourselves to receive ourselves first. And then actually we can be received by others. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and your comments on this. Lots of love, gorgeous.